Hello everybody and welcome back. This is week number 8 of the Injustice 2 Path to Pro presented by PlayStation 4. We have one set left, which is our grand finals, and it's going to be in some ways an ED team kill. I know it's CE ED xZoro, but it's also ED Aixy. Supergirl versus Atrocitus is likely to be the matchup. These guys have played before as well, so tell us about their history.
Oh, it's a battle of the Birmingham boys to start things off. We're going to have Supergirl versus Atrocitus. Aixy, long-time fighting game player across the board, but NetherRealm games are really where I think he's found his most success.
He's thrived in them, really.
He was very good early on in Mortal Kombat X, had a lot of success early in the game's life with Cassie Cage. Supergirl definitely being kind of like his sort of next best go-to in Injustice 2, where he's been having a lot of success sort of in the last couple of weeks. He's been getting very much better and better the longer this game goes on, finding a bit more stuff out. And Supergirl really fits the way he plays to a T. He's very patient, very footsies-based, very neutral-focused as a player, very fundamentally solid. And then his opponent, Zoro, is Atrocitus. This guy was a War God player back in MKX, ended up the game with Possessed Kenshi because he loves those heavy-hitting armored attacks, right? He wants that kind of like guaranteed, this is my go-to reversal, and this is my game, right? He wants you to understand you have to respect this thing about my character.
He likes characters that force their game plan onto you, and I think that's just the end of the day. War God, Possessed Kenshi, two characters that did that really well in MKX, especially later on when you take into account Possessed Kenshi. But when it comes to Injustice 2, I don't think anyone does it better than Atrocitus currently. He's going to pop Dexstar, he's going to get in there, and he's going to force mix-ups, pressure, safe on block, full combo on hit, and he's going to play around that trait, which is what pretty much every Atrocitus does. You know, make sure you get that trait back as fast as physically possible. But Aixy has had a hell of a journey today. He's played really well. He had an amazing 3-2 series against Happy Pal. And as you can see in this bracket, the semis were a lot closer than the rounds before it. Lots of 3-0s at the start of our stream. Happy Pal defeated K-Top, Aixy defeated Delul, Zoro beat Fletz, and H-Dope beat Rifle of the West. But in our semi-finals, 3-2, Happy Pal and Aixy, which was an unbelievable set down to the absolute, literal final hit. And Aixy came off better in that. And xZoro just defeated H-Dope. I'm talking about the third place playoff, which was the match that we just saw, where H-Dope had a really impressive Scarecrow. And that was a really good answer for Happy Pal, I feel.
I believe that was the case, but I mean, going into this final matchup, you spoke before about playing around certain characters, and I think that's something that Aixy's going to have going for him quite a lot here, because we've seen these guys play before. We saw them play before in Hawk's Nest, which was an early in the game's life Injustice 2 local event in Birmingham. We had a nice turnout of some UK guys, and these guys actually both played there, where it was a good set between the two. Ultimately, Zoro was able to win that and come off better in the end. But Aixy had a good showing of adaptation and showed some things in the matchup that I expect we'll be seeing here today. So, for example, Atrocitus Bloodlift can be punished by Supergirl's teleport. If you get a meter burn teleport with Supergirl, you can turn that into about 400 damage, which all of a sudden means that from full screen, he all of a sudden can't go for this tracking special that he kind of needs in a lot of matchups to really just establish what he wants to do versus you. But we already know that Supergirl has a few answers for that. But one thing Supergirl does not do is out-damage this character.
No, she doesn't really out-damage many characters in the game.
He's definitely not one of them.
There's one of those pieces of tech as well, which we saw Aixy do, where he goes in for the Frost Breath when he sees the Atrocitus shield, because it hits so many times it will chew up the shield and then actually hit Atrocitus as he comes in. So these little nuances, these little details within the Atrocitus Supergirl matchup.
But I'm sure Zoro remembers that. And the question is, how is he going to adapt around it now? Going to this first game, it'll be a first to 3, best of 5. And Aixy turns that jump in into an unblockable interactable just to guarantee that first bar. And a full, Aixy probably should have spent the bar, but Zoro, she didn't have the bar to extend that lift into a full combo.
Not too worried, but there we go. That's immediately in with the Dexstar. Now this is going to be Zoro's game until that trait runs out, committing into a 50-50, but a combo drop. However, going straight into that Dexstar projectile to maintain pressure, committing to that last minute 50-50, but with no Dexstar to make it safe. That was a big gamble, but against Supergirl, not a humongous gamble because of her damage output.
Now, something we know about Zoro, though, he is not afraid to really commit to that unsafe mix-up in the lift or the overhead. It can be fuzzied, but he will test you completely to see whether you can consistently block it. We've already seen in situations he'll just throw himself at you to get that damage.
We did just see that clean punish on the advancing forward 2-2, because Supergirl with the fast normals, she hasn't got damage, but she is a nimble character by far. Trying to go in for the sweep to catch the advance. Just trying to go for the down 1, but again, with that Dexstar, you're going to have to really try and go for something to trade instead. Maybe a down 2 or a sweep. A low poke's not going to do it. And again,
oh
committing to it. Commitment to the end. That's one thing XZoro does more than basically any competitive Atrocitus player right now. By the way, that was a really
very costly combo drop. Aixy probably should have just taken the finish there, as it's given XZoro a lifeline, and it's actually given him the cat back.
And he commits to the 50-50. Now, actually kind of goes hand in hand with what I was about to say before the combo drop. No one commits to 50-50 quite like XZoro. Like, he will just, until the end, it's 50-50 until he dies. Most times it's been working today, but he's prepared for it to not work out.
Indeed, but we see Aixy now has access to that trait. Oh, he's going to go for it. That chip damage starting to add up. Ooh, and XZoro, that full range 4-2.
Very early wager. Haven't really seen Aixy go for a wager so early before. I think he just wants to get out of that situation.
Because he knows he's guaranteed health here, but XZoro isn't going to spend the bar, going to let him get that 1 bar back.
Having no lasers on deck to really contest with that Atrocitus advancement, though, is going to be a bit of a pain. There's the overhead maintaining pressure. There's the... Yep, there we go, straight into the trait again. Aixy not even trying to fight back. I feel like maybe either the armored back 3 or just downright uppercut, but Miban teleports back 3 is going to do big damage anyway.
That's a good option for it. Like you said, Aixy is definitely just sitting there and taking that a lot. I'd like to see a few other options, maybe the back 3, even the down 2 to take the trade. Anything than just sitting there over and over and over again when he successfully blocks. Or catches the backdash.
At this stage, that's quite good because the lasers are individual hitting. It's hard for them to really clash that damage. Going in for Miban, but wow, XZoro getting hit. I don't know why he got tagged by that.
Aixy definitely wasn't ready for him to get frozen in that situation. Gets the cat out safely, but stops him on the way in.
Going in for the projectile to make the advancement safe, and now that's going to be really dangerous. Air text into it, that's going to give XZoro even more pressure, and now he's in a bad spot. That might even be guaranteed chip afterwards. Wake up or not, makes the read, but going to push him away, but I don't think that's enough. Yeah, didn't have enough health, and that's going to be around game 1, but to be honest, a lot of mistakes coming out from Aixy there.
Yeah, I think so. That's definitely fair to say. Aixy definitely not playing bad. XZoro playing better in that situation, but Aixy getting a lot of situations where he's correctly blocking in these mix-ups when Dex is out, but his answers to them aren't always optimal, I think. Definitely doesn't look quite as ready for the character as a whole. I mean, which is a bit of a surprise considering how well he played a few weeks ago, I should say, or I guess a number of weeks ago now at Hawk's Nest. At the same time, XZoro playing super good himself. I think Aixy just needs to revise how he plays around Dexter, because ultimately, as soon as XZoro's in his face and he's using the orbs, he's still using the orbs and the pressure, which can be punished. Aixy just isn't doing it.
Miban back 3, that clean punish when you block the 50-50.
Well, at the very least, down 2.
Yeah, just trade him. Just knock him away. Send him that far distance. I wonder if we'll see these adaptations, but right now, XZoro is going to be at 1 game.
One gets the cat out for free. It's a lot of his bar in the time, but the first hit is going to go to Aixy, which is going to help him out.
Gets hit by the overhead, expecting the commitment, because XZoro is consistently dedicating to the 50-50 here, but right now, not quite. Oh,
that's unfortunate.
Try to interrupt. Hitting him, but always a little bit too far away to really get anything off it. Immediately into the low right there. XZoro, really fantastic round 1 at this stage. Going in for Dexter now. Once again, it's going to be his time to play. Good block so far. Well, one thing, the grab was nerfed, so you're not going to get Dexter at the end of the grab anymore, but it's not going to be enough here. Still gets the kill.
Very strong life bar for XZoro, though. Commanding lead already. That's going to be a full whiff punish, though. But we're already seeing just how much damage he needs to actually make these hits count. But just like that, this was a bar spent. It's going to go to just 300 damage.
I think trying to go for maybe blowing through a wake up or something like that, but spending more bars. Because he took so much damage, he did a really good job of just building meter for this next round. Not shy in spending any of it so far. Gets another knockdown. But you can just see the damage. It's just not in his favor. He spent all 4 bars, and he's not even taken him into like barely a 3rd health left.
And the orb. Shield comes out.
Here comes the pressure.
This is the kind of pressure that you can really... Oh, wow, good answer with the teleport.
Part of me thinks that I think Aixy might have been looking for that answer the entire time, and he's just not been getting it. But he does manage to get it that time.
Costs him more of his bar, though. We can see XZoro with 4 bars ready to go, and just immediately goes straight in for the pressure. Oh, catches him. Yeah, early clash.
Definitely a good clash, because he's 100% going to win this. Just spend 1 of your bars, get a little bit of life.
Is it going to get in the cat out? Is the cat cool down, or did that just reset it? Oh, it did reset the cooldown on the cat.
It's going to be a little victory for Aixy, but immediately getting hit by that puddle. You look at how much bar XZoro's got left to work with. That's a lot of pain coming through.
Full punish, but no bar coming from Aixy. Definitely could have been a full back 3 punish, I should think. I believe hers is fast enough to punish.
Well, most of them are. Ah, I guess it's wrong once again, but messes the combo up. But is it going to matter? That's really the question. Wow, a challenge.
Wow. Yeah, brave challenge to get out of that one. Is that going to connect? Oh, no.
He just spent all of his meter on it, but caught on the very end, and no wager!
No clash?
What?
Wow, Aixy definitely could have survived that, but just chose not to clash for some reason.
That was one of the most confusing lack of clashes thing I've ever seen.
I mean, that was a comeback potential, because Zoro just wasted all 4 bars on that completely wasted super.
Yeah, completely. I wonder what happened, but either way, I'm sure Zoro's going to be happy with that one. He'll just take that and run with it. He's 2 games up now, on the verge of winning one more game, and he's going to move on and win this entire tournament.
Is Zoro going to get that 3-0 on Aixy? Aixy, I mean, definitely not playing as clean as we've seen leading into this.
Well, maybe that sort of potential nerves. Grand finals, this is a situation that will really put the pressure on any player, especially seeing as winning this will almost give you that comfort zone. You enter week after week. This is week number 8, and it's been a long journey for both of these players, and whoever wins this set will move on, and they're locked into the finals. They don't have to go through that grueling task of entering every single week, tournament after tournament. This could be the final line for one of them. And it looks like at the moment, still looking really good for Zoro, who is just laying that pressure on so thick.
There's that sort of patient play again though. Zoro, you know he is absolutely content just sitting there waiting for his cat to come back. Oh, let's get opened up though.
The second he gets Dexter online, that's when the matchup changes. Goes in for the wake up, down 2 to chase it, but again, no combo. Aixy's execution has been not that optimal in this grand finals.
Oh wow, the shield.
Going in for the knockdown. I think it might be going in for the knockdown trade off it. A little bit too late though. Definitely a good answer, but he's done it so late in the set. I don't think Zoro cares too much at all.
Just backing himself up to that range that his normal was going to reach. And there's that poke with the down 1, and Zoro is on tournament point already. 3-0, did not expect the set to be this one-sided.
Gets a cross up, but still going to be expensive. Getting a nice amount of damage, but we're going to reset to that mid-screen. And that's where Atrocitus really thrives, is that mid-screen.
Especially when he wants to get, I mean, to be fair, Atrocitus thrives everywhere, but mid-screen, oh, and there's that wake-up, gets the plus frames. Now, is this actually going to do enough to kill? I think it might, yes it is. And Aixy able to even things out, but again, look at how much bar it cost him to do that.
If there's one thing that's not even, it's going to be the life. Sorry, the meter. The life was the one thing that was even. Deary me. And here comes more of that pressure. At this stage, not even trying to mix, just keeping the pressure going on, keeping that bar advantage ever so high. 4 versus 1 right now. If there's one situation Zoro's going to do well here, it's going to be right now when he has all of this bar. It's a punish. Reverses the corner positioning. That's very important.
Oh, tries to punish. Oh, and Aixy interrupts.
Now, yeah, there's that wager. Give himself a whole bunch of guaranteed health back, and he's going to get out of the corner. Very important to make sure you're not having to take that back corner pressure.
Oh, and then activates the cat point blank. He's able to get it out. Shield comes through. There's the overhead. There's the mix-ups. Aixy's still not found an answer for the successful blocks. That's what he needs.
Now, part of me wonders if he's been consistently trying to go for the teleport the entire set, and he's just been messing it up, but not expecting it to hit at the very end. I think no one but Zoro was expecting a hit by that, hitting that last possible moment. Good block.
And the patient Zoro just wants to sit and wait until he's got the cat back.
That's bad. Grabbed into the corner. Going in for the wake up, trying to stay alive, but this is looking so bleak for him.
Oh, that's a good block. Aixy doesn't have the bar to make it hurt, though.
I think that's one of the reasons we saw Zoro actually commit to that. Going in, but just blocking for days. No reason to overextend, but hang on. If he kills now, he's going to get it. But is it enough? Not quite. He has the lasers. He just needs to get one more. No, there we go! The clash at the last minute. He had no choice.
Oh, Aixy was going to die there, 100%. But Zoro now, this is going to be mixed up. Does he puddle or does he not puddle? That's it. Does the puddle or does he not? Oh, he does! And Aixy called it out and got, just by the absolute skin of his teeth, survives the round and moves on to a game 4. Wow.
That could have potentially been a wake-up call for Aixy to go, right, I've got this final game. That was almost a 3-0, but now I've got one on the board. It's time to wake up. It's time to start punishing that blocked 50-50. It's starting to take damage when I can get it. It's not fumbling these inputs. And right now, XZoro still heavily advantageous on games, but right now, Aixy needs to take that momentum he just got from that comeback, and he has to run away with it. It's all he has left.
Indeed, but is it too little too late? That ultimately is the question. Is he going to start this comeback knowing he has that mountain behind him of every time XZoro takes a life bar, he becomes that step closer to winning the tournament, and actually maybe dropping down to second place today.
We'll see what happens. This is still grand finals. Last game for XZoro. If he wins this, he's going to move on into the tournament. He's going to be our Week 8 champion. Right now, it's a good start. Very good start, in fact.
Indeed, yeah, we're going to be going to the other side of the stage now, though. I mean, neither of these characters are gadget characters, I should say, so not quite as I suppose, cheesy on this stage as they can be.
There we go, that Frost Breath hook. He's going to take that trade all day just to get rid of the shield temporarily, I think. Oh, no reason to get hit by that puddle, though.
Oh, but he misses the combo. Yeah, actually closer to the corner than he anticipated.
Yeah, sometimes you can try and go for a conversion, but you're not quite as close to the corner as you think, and you just get a really weird sort of bounce.
It's a down one poke after the breath. Blocks this one. Oh, wow, but absolutely meager punish coming out from Aixy.
I think he tried to go for a meatless punish and go for maybe a restand situation.
No, we actually saw him before go for that punch into teleport because it combos, but I think he may have messed it up.
Oh, assumingly that's what we just saw there. But just look at how much Aixy has so much work to do. He's got loads of bar, but he's not really getting a chance to do anything with it. So get knocked down.
There's that meaty coming from Atrocious. Aixy all getting hit. Disrespects this time.
No wager! Until the last moment now. I mean, it was hard before. It's going to be even harder now. Spending 3 bars of even 1, understandably. When you're going to win that trade, no reason to go for more than like 3 bars, but oh no, hit again. XZoro looking really good in this round.
Nice hard knockdown, meaty pressure coming out. There's the breath. Aixy then, that trait now going, be a while before that comes back. Gonna turn that into the freeze, so gonna spend some of this time, at least.
He's gonna have to make sure this combo just takes as long as physically possible. Tries to go in for maybe a mix-up, but doesn't get it. There's the punish. Straight through the shield as well. That's the answer he was looking for.
But again, we could have been seeing that every single time he blocks the lift, but he just hasn't done it. Again, this comeback, it's possible. I don't want to say it's completely not possible whatsoever, but it's going to be hard. Uh-oh, that might be it. I think that might be, at very least, very close to death.
He's going to get Dexstar on this. He's going to guarantee that Dexstar. Now the pressure is on. It's going to be so hard for him to deny. He tries to get it. Knocks him down once, but I don't know, even chip at this stage. Oh, especially now. Can he do it? This is such a tall order for him.
Oh, he tries to teleport to get away, but XZoro is going to chase him down. Well played. And XZoro takes grand finals, week number 8, 3-1. And we will be seeing him again in the UK finals. So huge congratulations, XZoro. Well done. The grind has paid off. And we'll see you on finals day.
I mean, it's very important for him that he's able to get that win. He's now going to be in the Path to Pro top 12 finals to meet the rest of our contestants who have qualified so far. And he will be meeting, I should say, Asadamasa, Vladdy 7R, Sakron, Inspector Choz, Yuzu Rizza, Foxy Grandpa, and Mirko. So he's got a lot of tough competition, but he now has added himself to that list of qualified players. But this is week number 8. We have 4 more weeks left to go.
Indeed, we do, but all is stuff to play for, and plenty of players left who haven't qualified, but of a very good standard themselves, who will no doubt be entering in to try and make their way in there too. But just to reflect upon this grand final set, I actually kind of expected that to be a 3-2, considering how I've seen these guys play against each other in the past. But I think Aixy making a lot of execution errors, a lot of optimization issues in the matchup itself. Some adaptation, some crucial adaptation, but ultimately it just came a little bit too late. And XZoro was just, he knew what his game plan was and he stuck to it from start to finish.
Well, there were some clear answers that I think Aixy had for Atrocitus as a matchup itself. The problem is he had a hard time consistently enforcing those options. Now, when you don't do that, we saw certain things where Meteor Burn Teleport, when he would successfully block a low puddle, and he would basically evade the projectile, evade the shield, and that would essentially mean that he'd get a free punish every single time. We didn't see it working until way later on in the set, where if we saw it at the very beginning, the matchup would have been completely different. It was just that level of clutch that Aixy struggled to keep. He had that sign of life at the very last minute in that second to final game, but the second it went back to what XZoro was comfortable with, it was very hard to stop the momentum that he built up.
indeed. And this was obviously replays from that final game where XZoro just had that commanding lead. And you've got a character like this, Supergirl, that is just doesn't hit very hard at all versus Atrocitus, who's the exact same opposite and hits like a complete train. I mean, that comeback is going to be almost impossible to make. I would have liked to have seen it, but not a huge surprise to see that it was just too much of a tall ask.
Well, it has been a really good tournament so far. This was week number 8. We've got 4 more weeks to go. And obviously you guys at home can get involved yourself. Just go to ESL website, the Play website, where Injustice is across both NA and EU. We have the Hometown Heroes competition over in North America, but in our home turf of EU, Path to Pro is very easy to sign up for and it's free. So make sure you get signing up for that, and all the information that you want is on ESL Injustice on Twitter as well. For one final chance of the night, guys, we have a competition going on. Go to esl.pm/Path to Pro, and it's pretty much within the final few days of this competition, as far as I'm aware. The first place prize is a Injustice 2 versus collection provided by the folks over at Tribal.
These two statues right here. So you got Batman and Brainiac. Obviously, thanks very much for donating these to us, guys. But one of you viewers at home can stand a chance to win this as a first prize. But second place, we do have a Injustice 2 rucksack, officially branded and all that good stuff. And it's full of Injustice 2 goodies, from shirts to hats to cool little bits and bobs.
And it's all official merchandise as well, so make sure you'll be getting hands on that. That is going to be everything from us today. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Injustice as a competitive series will continue all over, but for today, that's everything we have time for. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time, and see you later.